Hey there, I'm Chris Panek, Certified Public Accountant, Certified Coach, and the host of the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast. And I want to welcome you to the 13th episode of a new series that I'm doing on this podcast. My intention is to drop one of these additional episodes every Monday while I continue to provide you with the regular Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast episodes, which will continue to help you take control of and understand your business finances with topics that ultimately impact your bottom line. I have many business owners, accountants, and other high-stress professionals who listen to this podcast, and I want to get more help out there for individuals like you when it comes to mastering your mindset. I'll be taking a few moments each week to touch on topics that many high-stress professionals are dealing with and provide solutions to help you increase your overall well-being. Because I know your time is valuable, just like the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast, my goal is to keep these episodes short and straight to the point, but full of useful information to help you succeed in not only your professional life, but your personal life as well. Do you ever feel like you don't have control over certain things in your life? If you're anything like me, you like to know you have everything under control. The truth is that there are a lot of things that we can control, but there are also a lot of things that are out of our control. The good news is that even if we find something that's out of our control, we can still control how we react to it. Let's dive in. Have you ever tried really hard to control something that was out of your control? Maybe you've tried to control someone you know, their actions, or even the weather. How did trying to do this work out for you? My guess is not very well. But when you take a step back and stop trying to control things that are out of your control and focus on what you can control from that situation, you'll be guaranteed a much better outcome. Often, when you're able to do this, you'll not only help yourself, but the situation may improve as well. So, today, I want to focus on things in your life that are out of your control. Specifically, I want to talk about the weather, since it's something that we're all familiar with. Let's say, for example, that you're planning an outdoor event that's coming up soon. You know that you're taking advantage of everything that's in your control in relation to the weather. You think that the weather should be favorable for the most part, but you know, even though you chose a good time of the year to hold your event, what the weather is like that day is totally out of your control. You'll never feel good about this situation if you continue to try to control what is out of your control. But what I want to point out here, and what is possible in any situation where you don't have control of the circumstance, is that you can make conscious choices about how you handle the situation. You need to be aware of situations like this and separate out what you know you can control and what is out of your control so that you can feel better about the situation. In this case, the weather is truly a neutral circumstance, and the fact of the situation will determine how the weather turns out for your event. There's nothing that you can do to change this circumstance, but let's take a look at a few scenarios that could play out. First, let's say the weather is perfect on the day of your event. How you describe perfect will be up to you, but in your mind, everything turned out exactly as you planned. You didn't have to make any other accommodations due to the weather. Everyone showed up as planned, and even the event couldn't have gone any better. Your thoughts about this event are all positive, and you feel amazing about the whole situation. Now, let's think about what would happen and be in control if the weather is anything but perfect in your mind. You already know that the weather is something that you're not in control of. And let's say that on the day of the event, it starts to rain and continues to rain throughout the event. How would you react to the circumstance in this case that's out of your control? Would you be worried that it would rain all day? Would you be anxious about how you'll carry out the event? Would you be sad or even depressed about the whole situation? These are all options, and each of these scenarios is in your control. But I want you to notice that not only do you have control over feeling negative feelings, as I mentioned here, but you also have the control to choose to think differently about your event. I want to ask you, in this situation, how do you want your end result to be for this event, even if it does rain throughout the entire event? Taking advantage of what you can control will continue to help you feel more in control of your situation. When you're able to see what's happening in your life, whether it is planning for an event like this, or if you're working through any other circumstance in your life that is out of your control, it's important to take steps to ensure that you are in control of what you can do to create the results that you want in your life. It's up to you to make conscious decisions about what you have control of. You need to pull together everything that you're thinking about the situation and decide what you want to keep or what you want to get rid of. What will help you enjoy the situation and what will cause you to continue to feel out of control. Are you ready to walk through the steps that I take my clients through to make sure that they're consistently taking advantage of what they can control? If you'd like to continue listening to the rest of this podcast, I invite you to sign up for my free private podcast where I do a deeper dive into this topic on the Mastering Your Mindset Moments podcast for high-stress professionals. When you're busy working in a high-stress profession, it's often hard to accomplish what you truly want in your life. This private podcast offers solutions that you can immediately apply to your life so that you can not only achieve your goals, but increase your sense of purpose, satisfaction, and lead a more fulfilling and enjoyable life. You can sign up at financialadventure.com/private to hear about the solutions I provide on this topic. I'll post links to this and other valuable resources for business owners, accountants, and other high-stress professionals where you're listening to this podcast.